Hi, I am almost to the end of this rolog, so I thought I would do a video of some spinning because it is very soothing. I am joining on. When you do the rologs, you can either do a long draw, which I've never done before, which makes, I think, a loftier yarn, if I'm understanding it correctly, which I don't really want to do. I want to do a finer yarn. So you can do spinning from the fold, which you take a section of your rolog, you pull off a staple length, and then you fold it over your finger, and you hold it, pinch it below with your thumb and your other finger, and then you pull out a segment from where it's folded over your finger, and you spin from that. And my understanding, the reason that you do it that way is to preserve the colors in their segments, because since it's rolled perpendicular to the way that you're spinning in a rolog, grab it. This is what I have left of the rolog. But you pull off a staple length from this side, and then you take that and you fold it over your finger and hold it below, and then you pull out a bit of this fiber at the fold, and then you spin from here. So I'm going to, let's see, that's fine. I'm gonna get this spinning, and then I'm gonna hold that fiber over the top of it so that it spins in, and then I'm just gonna blend it into the tail that's already left from what I spun before, and then just spin from that fold until I get to the end of this. And sometimes it gets a little sort of clogged up where it's coming out if you have a bigger piece, and when it does that, I usually just kind of take it off my finger and spin it as I normally would. But by then you're down to a small enough piece that it still maintains the colors pretty well. So the only difficult part of this, or annoying, I guess I should say, I don't want to put that on it, the fussy part of this is that you have to keep joining and joining and joining a new piece as you go along, because you can only do a staple length at a time. So back over my thumb, pull out some fibers, and start my wheel spinning. And then I'm just going to lay these fibers over the top of what I've already got going on there and let it spin in, and then blend it in with what the fuzzy piece that I have not yet spun. I don't know what to call it, the tail of what I've been spinning, and then just go. And I've gotten to where it works probably 80% of the time. Sometimes if it doesn't grab on the way I want it to, then I will try and reattach it with a piece that's kind of partially spun already, because I don't want to waste it. And that's a bad idea, because it just ends up, it won't grab, the fibers won't grab onto each other. And I will try 5 or 6 times probably, and I'll end up, it just ends up breaking over and over and over again. So when I get to the end, I leave a little bit of this fuzz on here. I'm going to wrap it around so that I can use both hands to pull out my staple length. And I'm almost to the end here. I've got probably this one and one more. So that's cool, because this is what I'm going to spin for today, or at least for now. And then I'm going to go work on my weaving. But pull out that bit of fiber so you've got some fluff coming out of there. And you take this piece where you have your fluff at the end and start it spinning. So I've got this spin going on here, and then I'm going to lay my fibers over the top of that where it's spinning and let it grab onto that. But I'm not going to let go of the fluff that I have down here. And then I'm just going to put those two pieces together, and they become one, and I can start spinning. And you can see how it's maintaining the green here, because it's just pulling from the middle instead of the end. So it's not yanking in a bunch of extra fibers, and now it's switching to the white. And there's a little bit of green in there, and then back to the white. So we get a little striping when it gets to where it shifts from one color to the next, but for the most part it maintains the pure colors if you do it right. So I'm the white, and now I'm going to some green here at the end. So we'll switch over to the green, and it'll maintain your colors pretty well. So my last piece, get this one kind of straightened out because it's not very, yeah, this piece is not, it's kind of the end of the roll log, so it's not very tidy, but that's all right. So I'll pull out my piece that I need, get my part that I'm already spinning, and lay that fiber over and let it grab on, and then just blend it in with the part that I have in my hand that I'm drafting, and that's how I hook on the next piece. This is not drafting very well because the fibers are kind of confused. They're not all straight, but that's okay. This is the end of this, and I think, again, I still haven't decided whether I'm just gonna like finish up and be done with this bobbin, or if I should put it all on all 4 roll logs. This is 2 roll logs. I'll show you. Oh, sorry. This is, it's probably about half full. I could probably fit the other 2 roll logs on this bobbin if I wanted to, but then I would have to ply it with something else, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do for now, but I wanted to show you that. See you later.